Hey, Micah, how you doing? Hey, Pam, I am. They still haven't cleaned our vents or changed the filters. I'm really enjoying this hat in this weather. This is a very nice warm hat. And something dangerous. I have some ideas. That's not really dangerous. It's to keep us from having certain problems. So, hey, Michelle. Hey. Okay, let me warn you. These glasses are not my normal glasses. I lost my glasses for now. I misplaced them. These are blue blockers, but they help. So, hi everybody. How you doing? So it's going to be a little weird. Michelle Ken, I'm free listening as I clean up. Oh, where's Mud Fossil? Mud Fossil Guy is here. Hello. Hi. And let's see who all's here. Micah, Pam, Linda, Michelle, and Richard, Mud Fossil Gaia, Jim, Gemini Moon, that's my Jim. Richard Elmore is here a lot of time. I am Pam is here. Mr. Chris Jarvis. Leo Medic is in. Okay, Annie. And yeah, so far. So if I miss somebody, I'm sorry, I won't be able to read the chat as well as I could because don't have my glasses and I'm nearsighted. So these are just blue blocker glasses, so I don't hurt myself looking up close. So I thought, what the heck? Let's do something that's probably going to be kind of fun. We can look into different stones and minerals because I know everybody loves them. And probably a lot of times, I think people just love them. And I mean, all of us are attracted to that kind of thing. You walk along a beach and you can't hardly stop yourself from picking up your little stones and your shells and whatever you find. Hi, Les. Annie. Mud fossils. Yeah, exactly, Gaia. Mud fossils. That's what all the stones are. As we've spoken of before, it appears that we're living on top of a huge pile of fossilized corpses. And that's pretty much what makes up the mountains and everything. And then the stones are everywhere. The bits of them are everywhere. The colors and the minerals of them are from biology. So really, we do have a deep connection with the mineral kingdom. We just don't know it. That makes sense, though, because our bodies need minerals in order to live, you know? So it's kind of makes sense to me. The reason we have this very deep thing with the stones, I mean, most of us do, is we're really connected with them. You know, seriously, we're connected with them. Some of them might have been us in another life. And there was a poem there. I don't know where the poem is. I can't remember the name of a poem, but I remember reading a poem that was like that. Was talking about this stone could have been me, you know. And it would be kind of enigmatic if you didn't know the background on that. It sounded like it was some kind of some metaphoric thing. But as I looked back at it, knowing more, I realized this person was talking about, no, this stone really could have been me. Whoop. How's everybody feeling tonight before we get into anything? By the way, before we go too far, ooh, darling, before we go too far.
Transducer, no. For his brain to imagine movement.
No, don't do that. Okay, so this is going to be double fun now. Twice as fun because I can't see.
What?
Oh, well. It's not as if I'm doing anything important like a live stream or anything. I mean, you know, it's not like I'm doing anything where I really need to see, like, you know, a live stream. But I decided, you know, once again, I'm not going to let things stop me. I'm going to go do it anyway. I'm bad that way. I'm not going to let things stop me this time. I mean, you know, it's going to have to be, whoop, whoop. Nope. Wait. Yep. Okay. Now. That's right. I'm the mountain and the mountain is me. It's all good. We love you. Thank you. Oh, it probably is. But the thing is, I can't find them until I find them. I can't look for my glasses until I find them. Even if they're here, I can't see them. I'm going to have a friend over to help me look. Yep. You know, a lot of us have been having some rough days, and it's not just our group either. We're having a lot of people are just having some rough days. We've got storm fronts coming in. we've got people with a lot of emotional issues going on right now due to, you know, all kinds of things happening in the world. And, you know, as for me, someone find my glasses. Yeah, yeah, or in my bed. That's the other thing I was thinking there. I usually wrapped up in my bed covers, but I couldn't find them this time. So, a seeing eye mod. I love you guys. You guys are the best chat. You really are. And which is why I am not going to, it doesn't matter. If I can get on the freaking stream, I'm coming in at some point, you know, during the week, because I'm not going to quit this. This is not happening again. As long as I have the equipment to do it, it's sooner or later going to happen that I'm going to come in. So that's, and nothing is going to make me vanish. Not not of my own volition anyway. So because I like y'all too much, and this is too cool. But so basically, Mud Fossil Roger was talking about how really you look at a chart of the transitional metals in a heart, and it looks like an opal. And very, very probably opals might all be from hearts. So that would not shock me. You know, I really know, I used to be in gyms here. I joined a lapidary club, and you find out so much from these people, because some of these people have been in the business all their lives, and they know every dang, you know, stone, mineral, gem that's ever been found, right? And my friend Ken Harsh, he had a shop called Karma Crystal that said said serving the metaphysical community for 2,000 years. He was very smart about stones. And then my friend Melody, who wrote Love is in the Earth, that is basically they call it the Stone Bible. It's got, it's so detailed. She goes into meditation. She does all of the properties of the stones, not just a few. She's like deep, 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 deep. So I got to warn you, Love is in the Earth is her book, and there are many editions of it as she would update her studies, but she goes in entirely in depth, and I wish I could find the autographed copy I have of her book. But it's a great big brick of meanings and correspondences and what they're made out of and everything. I mean, just from the chemical composition on up to the metaphysical properties, what she's used them for, just everything, symbolic meanings. She really loves stones and crystals. And then one of the newer people I've known, and I'm going to see if I can get in touch with the Queen of Quartz and see if I can get her to say a few words on here at some point. Try and get in touch with the Queen of Quartz. She's very knowledgeable too, and she mines all of hers herself. So what is the fascination? I think we can feel the connection. Fairies, will you please give me back my glasses? Please. Come on now, be nice. I'm nice to you. I'm always nice to you. You know what, though? I gotta say, Underworld Classroom is a good one. Oh, cool. We'll have to look that up. Thank you. So there are really a lot of good stone books out there. And I even created and developed a stone divination kit, sort of. I got different stones that have different symbolic meanings and put them together like a deck of cards, and was reading those for a while and taught other people to do that too. Me and a friend did that. And then I had a falling out with a friend, and don't you know, she took all the credit for that. But it happens. It's happened with my music too before. You know, you think you're songwriting with friends, and then all of a sudden, zip zam, all the songs are theirs. So that's just the way it goes. And snowing in the devil's armpit. Well, it's snowing in the heart of it all too, here in Ohio. So we're the heart of it all, you know. That's what they call it. I have to say, I strongly suspect they're right about it. Am I moving this in the wrong direction because it's stage left, stage right? Yes, I am. Okay. So I'm like moving myself out of the picture if I don't do something about this. Here. Ah! Yes, well. Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Mud Fossil Guy is here. Oh, cool. Yeah, I talk to them too, and they talk back. In fact, in fact, it's funny because one of my friends used to get on my case. He said, "You're just entirely too cute. This is the people who own the, see, I knew a lot of people who owned metaphysical shops. Of course, they always carry stones and gems and crystals and stuff. And one of them used to get on my case and he says, "You are just too cute. You will actually tell a crystal, you will apologize to a crystal for not being able to take it home." You know, because I'd pick up and I go, "Oh, you are so cool. I'd love to take you home. I don't have enough money to take you home right now." And of course, I worked at Earth Tones for a while, which was a local metaphysical shop. So, as a psychic too. So, and I worked as a psychic at a place in New Orleans too. I've done a lot, and then as a vendor, I had to explain stones and stuff to people because I carried them, and because if you're a vendor at some things, you just have to carry them. So people are going to ask for them, and because I work with them, because I made art with them, and the, you know, the wands and stuff. So this one, it's funny because it's not my usual colors, red and green, but somehow this one had to be made. And it's very, unusual for me. Let's just say this is not my usual, but for some reason, and this is made out of poplar. I lived near a tulip poplar for a while, and I really love the white wood, and I forget what the meanings of that is. But stones can be so helpful to us, and they this interconnection we feel. Like right now, I put my hand on this. I actually had to. This was such a plain looking stone. I painted something on it to make sure people didn't just get rid of it, say, oh, a stone. People don't, people do weird things. I've had people who don't understand why I have a stone lying in my place because it doesn't look like anything to them, and they just think, oh, what's this doing here? I've had one of my friends who used to help me clean. She'd go around and clean it. I've had a couple of friends who will do that. They come over and they see things, and they'll do little cleany type things to help you out. In their mind, it's all helping you out. And boy, people have pitched stuff that really, somebody tried to pitch my braid of sweetgrass because they didn't understand what it was, and stuff like that. But this stone is interesting. It's a composite. You can tell by the texture of it that this was skin at one point. It looks like skin even. I mean, it has a kind of a quality like skin. It feels like it. It has the red and black in it, which is the blood. What it exactly was, I'm not sure. But for some reason, my friend Faith found this, and it was just lying in the yard. And I just liked it and brought it in for whatever reason. I didn't know why. I just liked it. There's something about the feel of it. And then she realized that what it did was it would detect when something bad was going on. It would detect negative spirits by heating up. So if you touch this, and I'm touching it, and it's very cold right now, so the place is clear. But if this is warm, there's activity of a not so nice nature, and then we'd have to put it out and clear it. So it's interesting. So I drew something on it so it wouldn't be thrown out, but it doesn't. It takes negativity, and then you can clear it, and takes it with it. So don't ask me how or why it happened. Paint dragon eyes. Oh yeah, I do that kind of thing too. I'll have to show you some of the things I painted, but it's kind of hard to show you. I think I've seen that on your show, Mud Fossil. Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah, I do something like that, but I'll show you sometime. Yeah. Yeah, it's our personal page where we vet people to get in there. It's exclusive. You have to know somebody to get in there. We have to think you're a pretty cool person in order to be there. Mhm. Okay, I'll look for them. Or at least I'll try to look for them. I have been wandering around a lot, switching between glasses because I've been sewing, because I have to take my glasses off to sew properly. And, I've been sewing some of the EMF, anti-EMF stuff. Some of the, I've decided it's just, the silver stuff is just so nice. The silver material is so nice. I'm probably going to be doing exclusively that, unless you want something to put your credit cards in, or your if you want something to put your credit cards in, or your phone or whatever. Or here's another idea too, is I'm going to make little pouches for you to put your ormus in, or your stones, because or your remedies or whatever, because actually a lot of times these things can be affected by EMF, and you don't want, like, for instance, I'm pretty sure something like C60 would probably have problems with it. I know Ormus, they tell you specifically, they package it, usually it comes packaged in the Mylar to keep it safe from the EMF. And so if you want it to retain its properties, you need to keep it in something like a tin, or something that blocks the EMFs. And some things are light sensitive. C60 is light sensitive, and it's a mineral. It's carbon, and carbon, the stuff that everything's made out of, really. And we're carbon. Mhm. Mike is in Arizona. He calls it the devil's armpit, though, for some reason. Well, at least it isn't one of the other parts, smelly parts. So, no, I pretty much let the Woo Crew decide who comes into the Woo Crew chat. And some of my friends come in, and I tell them to go there so that we can be found. I want people to feel comfortable there. We are. Oh, Leo's in Arizona too. There. Well, at least there's two of you over there. That's good. There's me and Chris over here in Ohio. Not near each other at all, though. Yeah, I know. Armpit's not that bad. But yeah, I think I'm going to make some bags if you want to buy them, and I might even decorate them pretty or something, so that you can put your stones and your ormus and stuff that you don't want. And homeopathic remedies or any energy medicine, you want to keep it away from EMFs. Now, the other thing I'd like to talk about too is one of the stones that I'm going to be getting in some, and I'm going to be offering it. I'm going to be getting in some selenite that I will probably offer it along with some of the things that I send off. Because, yeah, I got some so that I can have quite a, I'm going to get some in bulk, sort of, I think, enough of it that I can offer it, send it away with other stuff. Because what selenite does is it will charge and cleanse your other minerals. It doesn't need to be charged of its own. So you set it in a, you would set, if you really want to get things all sparkly, you set it in a window with your little stones on it or near it, and everybody gets all charged up, or you put it in a bag with your jewelry or your stones or whatever, and it charges everything up. And I would want to set it on a sunny window. I had a bunch of selenite. There's two basic kinds of selenite. There's the stuff called, there's stuff that's considered just basic selenite. It's clear and it's in layers. The interesting thing is it's in layers, and Mud Fossil Rogers says these were actually tendons, that these were absolutely tendons, which kind of, it's interesting because the spar, what do they call it? Satin spar version. Now, both of these are gypsum. Okay, some people make a difference between selenite, the clear kind, the kind that's clear and layered, and the satin spar, which looks like a bundle of fiber optics. Honestly, it looks exactly like a bundle of fiber optics. And when you look at it, and the difference, the only difference is when the spar, the satin spar, has just, the crystals have grown a different way. Instead of very flat, they've grown long, very long. And but both of them are still gypsum. So, there's this debate as to what real selenite is, because everybody's interested in it, because now they're saying, well, the selenite will help you charge and maintain your crystal collection. But in truth, they're both gypsum. They both work. Some people say the clear works better than the spar, but some people say there really is no difference. It's kind of in your mind, the difference, because they're both gypsum, and they're both, if you look, the satin looks kind of white and satiny, true, and it's what you mostly see, but it still throws a lot of light. So yeah, I'd have to kind of go with may not be that big enough of a difference to worry about or to actually get on somebody's case about, but some people are sticklers for detail. Now, I also have a friend who goes out looking for crystals every year. She has a wonderful time. It's very, it's relaxing, although it's not that easy. There's something deeply relaxing about it. Let me tell you something about why, too, is when you're digging in the earth and when you're very close to the earth and you're getting it on you and getting your hands in it and having it touch you, there are literally, and I read about this, and I read about it in more than one place, there are literally little bacteria that live in the earth that will make you feel happier. We are definitely made, we're a set with the planet, okay? So we're a set. The way things have gone here, we actually need a connection with the planet. And it seems like science is trying to pull us farther and farther away with this connection. But we need it. Once again, if we're not earthed, we're in trouble. The EMFs hit you. I have my earthing pillow right here. It's plugged in. It once again, it connects to the grounding outlet. The reason anything needs to be grounded is the electrical system. And as you might have heard, the piezoelectricity of the crystals, it conducts electricity too. It conducts energy. Um, quartz crystals used in crystal radio sets. My dad had one. We had an entirely different technology at one point. This is not really our technology, what we have here. I think this was brought in from somewhere else. I think this is a foreign, can we say alien technology that we have now, you know, from about the transistor up to now. It's the older tech made use of different things and more natural things, and the natural energy lines of the earth and so on. And as you know, we're located along the meridians of the earth. They had their own energy grid system that did not detract from the energy of the earth at all. Didn't kill things like ours does now. Seems like everything they give us is deadly. But well, every new thing seems to be deadly. What do you know? Oh, by the way, that reminds me. I wanted to do this tonight just because I like it. Haven't done it in a while. Here we go. I swear I'm going to get that back as the start of the show. There we go. There's a ship right there. Ocean making waves, and here we go. Okay, so I'm sorry, I have to play that every now and then. Show off my fancy hair. That's just a diamond. Something's just a diamond in the rough. Mica has got a name of a mineral, actually. So mica is another gem. We've got Gemini Moon, who's one gem, and then we've got mica, who's another gem. It's another mineral. So anyway, we have, why isn't this working? It's covering up the comments. That's not good. Oh, hey, Lewis. So basically, we have always had a very deep connection with minerals. If it wasn't for transitional elements and a colloidal mineral, I mean, really, that's why I'm saying get yourself some colloidal minerals when you can. Find yourself a nice source of colloidal minerals, because we can't perform some of the functions, our bodily functions, without minerals and gems. Our pineal glands are full of crystals. You know, so if somebody says that's, you know, because people have tried to tell me it's just a childish thing, fascination. But shells too are made up of minerals. Our bones are made up of minerals. You know, we are very much connected to the mineral kingdom and always have been. While in a body, you're very connected. So honestly, it really behooves you to have a good relationship with them, right? And the cool thing is most of them are very friendly. Although, according to the Native Americans, you got to wake the stones up sometimes because they sleep. So most of the time, to them, when you're talking to the stones, you're talking to them in kind of a dream time thing. And that's what the sweat lodge is about. You heat up the stones to wake them up. There's various ways to wake up the stones, they say. One of them is you heat them up and then you put them in the cold water to make the steam. The other thing is sometimes they would take a big crystal and take it out and smash it very hard against another big rock in order to wake it up. And if it doesn't crack and shatter, well, then that's great. If it does, well, I guess it had something else to say. Like, you can't use me anymore. But I've literally had stones take attacks and shatter because just like I had a beautiful, it really pissed me off because I had this gorgeous rainbow moonstone. No, it was a rainbow obsidian. And rainbow obsidians are gorgeous, gorgeous stones. And they're protective. And beautiful, beautiful oval piece about this big. I wore it right there. And something got thrown at me, and that thing just shattered. That's the problem with the glass stones, the volcanic glasses. It is glass. So, you know, if you drop it too, it can shatter easy. So you got to just remember what some of this is. Glass is a mineral. So, you know, it's made out of sand, silica. So we use minerals all the time. We still use it in our watches and electronics. We still use the crystals. We still use gold and silver and copper and stuff. And all of the minerals have their own properties, magical properties, as well as symbolic, as well as what they used to be before they're in the state that you see them now. A gold vein literally was a vein, I guess. And Roger says he can tell you exactly where you're going to find gold by, you know, where the fossils are. So, Roger is a very brilliant man. That's kind of reminds me a little bit, though, of Walter from Fringe, in that he has a very unique way of looking at things, to where some people think he's kind of crazy, but he's also right most of the time. So, yeah. So even though he might be a little crazy, if you're also right, then it helps. I've lost track of this. Green obsidian from the desert. Oh, that you stole or picked up. Okay, somebody's making something out of copper wire or pipe. Copper rings, yeah. Agate hunting, yes. Oh, cool. Yeah, that works less. That works. What, the intro was hilarious? Yeah, I like the intro. I took a lot of trouble to edit that intro. That took a lot of editing, but it was fun to edit. I'm very proud of that intro. I want to do more stuff like that, but I got to get myself to some point where I can deal with the EMFs. Um, Now it's interesting because the way different stones are made, they grow. How are you going to keep the common? So yeah, sun and sand and warm. Boy, me too. I'd love to go to the beach. I haven't been to the beach in years. I haven't been able to get to the beach in years. I haven't even been able to go swimming in years now. Really annoying. I used to love to swim all the time. Um, so there are these little bacteria in the earth that make you happy, literally. And there is of course the negative ions you get from the earth, which keep you balanced. Um, so of course we're happier walking along a beach, picking up stones. Of course that's relaxing. Of course we love to do this. There's no reason you shouldn't. You have to be you have to be really numb psychically too to not enjoy that and want to do that. You know, want to walk along a beach and pick up stones. It's just natural. It makes you feel better for a reason. So they're friends, you know. And I don't know, since I was a kid, I always saw them as being my friends. You know, you know how kids are. Um, I keep this very dark, um, and I can't even remember. I believe this is obsidian, a hunk of obsidian. It's been too long, but it's a shiny black rock. Um, Shiny black rocks, when I found it again, I put it up here by the monitor. They're protective. They have a tendency to not just, but they can absorb things though. Black rocks. Um, well, they're absorbent. I mean, black absorbs radiation. Um, but the shiny helps things to bounce off of you, so it's like a shield. So black stones are kind of shielding and also grounding. Most black stones are grounding. Hematite, literally, when you cut hematite as a lapidary, I was warned, you're cutting metal. It's got a very high iron content, and when the water in the air hits it, as you grind the point, you know, you grind it into the shape you want. Um, the water turns red and it looks bloody. It really looks like blood. That's why they call it hematite. Is most of the red colors you see in stones is blood. And there's a difference between arterial blood and vein blood. The fresh blood supply it turns things red. The black is the spent blood, which would look blue inside of you. So when you see those two colors, black and red, it's from blood. And of course, pipestone, Native Americans insist, no, pipestone doesn't just represent the blood of the ancestors. It is the blood of the ancestors. pipestone is sacred, and it is literally the blood of the ancestors. It's red, and it's red for that reason, because it's blood. And obviously from the arterial blood. 5:45, that's sleeping in for me. So that's okay, Micah. Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. Have a good night. Yeah. I am thinking, okay, a couple of things I'm thinking about as I mention that. As I mentioned that, would it be okay if I came in earlier? Because it seems like earlier I was fine, but now it seems like um right around sunset, I get sleepy. And when the snow blows in, and it's usually at night, I get sleepy. I have trouble with it. But would it be okay with you if I mean, would you want to come to something that was earlier? I mean, comparatively earlier, like maybe instead of at 8 or 9, maybe more like 5 or 6 from time to time. Could I come in? Or maybe even, I'm even thinking of seeing if anybody's around at 1 o'clock at lunchtime. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Gaia. Yeah, I know how that is. Want to get back to finishing your video. I know it takes forever to edit a video. Good night, and thanks for coming. I'm going to have to get over there a little bit more and look at what she's got over there. 2 pipes made from catamite, catalanite. They were both over 4,000 years old. Somebody stole them from my collection when I was on vacation. Okay, so like quite a bit earlier. I've had so much stolen from me. I have had so much stuff stolen from me. I have had libraries and libraries worth of record keepers stolen from me and different things. And I still, I have one of my friends that fortunately doesn't come over too often, but she has a tendency to borrow things indefinitely and not tell you and look through your stuff. And I'm kind of glad she doesn't come over very often. But when I catch her looking through stuff, I always say, oh, and by the way, what you looking for, dear? Can I help you find it? Because there's always stuff lying around my place. I mean, there's always interesting things lying around. There's stones and crystals and parts of things and wands and books and interesting symbolic stuff lying all over the place. I can see to some people's eyes, this is like a candy shop, right? And it's hard for them to keep their hands off it. But it's funny because when I was a kid, if I went into somebody's place and started picking up all their stuff and looking through all their stuff, I would have got it. My mom would have got me good. I would have been in so much trouble. You had to keep your hands off other people's stuff. And so every now and then I'll end up with a friend who's just one of those people who will root through your stuff. And I don't like it. I'm sorry, but I just don't like it. I wonder about this. It's like I keep thinking, They don't even know what they're looking at. Oh yeah, Leo Medic's a member of the group for sure. Ah, Jim, it's still called thieving. No. Jim, you're a thief. Dirty, rotten thief. No. Oh, okay, that's funny. Oh, you take things out in the open and you put them out in the open. Yeah, you have that understanding. But I had a friend, Bradley. Oh my God, he's a kleptomaniac. If he finds me and comes in here, Bradley, um, can't help himself, kleptomaniac. Stole my sword, um, and several other things. Doran let him alone in my place. They went to my place to pick something up for me because we were doing a picnic, we were doing a gathering thing, and I gave him the key to my house for a few minutes. He left Bradley alone for a few minutes in my place, and when I got back, stuff was missing. Um, so if Bradley comes in, he says he doesn't think of it as stealing, though. He thinks of it as gypsying. He really does. And he at one point I asked, just I don't want to go too much into it, but yeah, Bradley, he does not belong in our MeWe chat. I'm sorry. I've tried to be very, very nice to him and give him time to cook, so to speak, because he was only half baked. But no, if he comes in, no. If Doran tries to pull him into this, no, I'm sorry. I think he needs to be where he is. Actually, he's the one who believes that he is a god king and moved to Athens, where they call it God's country. It's here in Ohio. I think he's better off there. I think it's where he belongs. After all, he's a god king, remember? So, Athens, he belongs there in the land of the gods. So, yeah, but I mean, here in Kent, I met so many people like that. So many people like that are maybe not at heart bad people, but they just can't help themselves. They're whacked, in some way. Um, hey, what's up, Max? So I know what I I know what that's like. For a while I couldn't find hardly anybody to hang with that wasn't a little whacked. Um, it's a weird area. Trying to keep your balance is hard around Ohio. In Ohio, it's, you watch the Drew Carey show. That's Ohio. That's out of Ohio. They have weird customs here. Instead of at your birthday, instead of giving you gifts, they play terrible pranks on you. Um, it's stuff like that. Ohio's not that easy of a place to live in a lot of areas. So a lot of us that grew up just common folk went through quite a lot as we were growing up and living here. There are, like in Kent, schizophrenics all over the place. For something that they say in the books is a rare disease, we got so many schizophrenics. And I remember commenting on that when I was talking to somebody in a store one time, commenting that we have more schizophrenics than any place I've ever seen. And the guy who was checking me out said, "Oh yeah, me too. I'm a schizophrenic." And I'm like, "That's what I mean. This is supposed to be rare, but we got schizophrenics all over the place." But then again, Ohio, as you know, is weird, and it engenders weird, and maybe that's why. Is it because living in Ohio makes people weird, or is it because weirdness can live here because we're just so used to it? Because here in Kent, we're used to weird. I mean, people, it's a transient society, and people are just used to things being a little weird and all different kinds of people. So you can get by with being very different. Let's see. Burial ground. Yeah, they're all over Ohio. There's burial grounds all over Ohio. Yeah, you could start a fossil store. But yeah, there's so many things like that in Ohio. I mean, probably if they would ever fully, you ever really excavate around in Ohio, I know they find things all the time in Ohio when they're trying to build a new strip mall or something. They run across things and they don't even talk about it half the time. Hey, Max Vision. Oh, Mayan. I don't have anything Mayan left. I had a Mayan teacher. I don't have anything left of it. Yeah, there were some religious people that at one point I stored my stuff with some religious people, and they decided somehow that the stones were all demonic and of the devil. What the weirdness, because I mean, really, who do you think made the stones? Weird, huh? I mean, it's weird how everything's inverted and they kind of like turn it inside out. Everything natural, but supposedly God made all this. It's all evil. Witchcraft. Because witches use it. But, you can't get away. I'm sorry, you cannot get away. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been robbed of so many things, tons of stuff. People just do stupid shit. Like I said, the religious people were some very expensive stuff. They curbed it. Idiots, complete idiots. I mean, people just take a notion in their head, and they're having some kind of trouble, and the source must be you because you're different. There's something different about you. And the funny thing is he would have gatherings over at his place. He would have people do gatherings and stuff over there, but he just decided at one point that my stuff was evil because it was shamanic, not angelic, I guess. I don't know. If I would have called everything angelic, then it would have maybe been okay. I don't know what was going on in his head. But I do know that when I was out there, I had my misgivings about the place, and I wasn't as strong in standing up for myself then. So people would say what a nice place it was, but really for me, it gave me the creeps at sometimes because there would always be right around 4 or 5 o'clock, this ice cold wind would blow through there, even in the summertime. It would be cold there. And I'm like, this is, August. Why am I freezing my ass off out here? Um, Never made sense to me. So, anyway, Was this guy Catholic? No. I'm not sure what he was. They seem to be very religious something, but he never really expressed exactly what he was. But they were very superstitious people. So they must have been, but his farm, people would use it to have gatherings because it was an open space with a lot of land. You have been here how many times to go to Paisley Park? At least you know where you lived in your past life. Yeah. Yeah, people will do that. And like I said, I know the area that CJ lives in. There are a lot of extremely seedy people down there too, in Cincinnati, I hate to say. Very seedy. Um, I do not doubt. Um, a lot of times, you just have to be aware that it's a little bit different place you're in when you're here. There are some very nice places here too. I mean, and when I was growing up, it was a lot nicer. It wasn't quite as the people weren't as strange as now, but a lot of people are strange here now. I know. I don't know. I don't know what happened, man. Um, was it really always like that, and I didn't know because I was a kid, or I don't know? Speculating on Ohio, it roughly does look like a heart, though. And when they say the heart of it all, I'm gonna have to say, yeah, somehow it is. I don't exactly know how, but yeah, somehow it is the heart of it all. So uh, there are different spots on the earth that are very, very different energy. That's a fact. So you know what? And as I'm talking about all of this, let me light a little bit of sage. We're not doing any kind of a ceremony. So, but pretty soon I'm going to have to get some more sage and stuff. I'm running low. So really I was thinking of having a feature like maybe once a week we'll pick out a stone and perhaps an herb to talk about the magical uses of it, if you'd like that. Hi, Barry. And then I was thinking too, since you really like the cards, maybe we'll draw a couple of cards and talk about the meanings of that. Matter of fact, yes, that's better. I leave it right here on my desk so that if I forget, I can pull it right out. Now I got to feel around for everything because I can't see. I'm going to look some more for my glasses soon. Hope I don't find him by hearing him go crunch. Okay, my pendulum is not swinging, it's not going around in a circle tonight. And it looks like it's very strong. So if we want to ask anything, we might be able to ask tonight. Barry, he does his tarot with his toes. Okay. The seeing eye mod. Who's the seeing eye mod? The force is strong. So I could actually ask some questions maybe at this point. Oh, before. I did get some insight as to why it's been spinning. Sometimes, in some cases, things are not settled yet. In some cases, you're asking the wrong question. And in other cases, you've asked the question too many times. And there were a few questions we had asked too many times because we just couldn't believe the answer. But if you do that, it'll stop wanting to answer you. It just gets tired. It's like it gets tired of it and it says, I already told you that. So you've got to allow enough time in between that maybe things would have vastly changed enough that the question could have changed. But really, there are certain questions that I've probably just asked too many times. So it just gives me a nyeh. So those are all possibilities. And so can it be that there are some things you're just not supposed to know at this time. Okay, thank you. Barry, we've really got to put some control on that. You know, we really don't want to have to keep mending the space-time continuum because you ate beans that day. Yeah, a lot of times I mention that it spins sometimes when it's up in the air yet. There's several occasions where it can be spinning. But one of them definitely is you ask the question. Tarot cards will do the same thing. If you keep asking the same question, they'll start getting nasty with you. And most readers can tell you that. Any kind of divination you do, if you keep asking the same question over and over, and the tarot cards often will just give you the same cards again. I've seen it happen where you get the same cards maybe 6 times. People come and ask the same damn question and they get the same damn cards and they just didn't like the answer and they come back another day and ask it again and nothing had changed. So they get the same damn cards and they're upset. Or maybe one card is different, or maybe the cards are in a slightly different location, but it's the same cards because they're still going through the same lessons and haven't completed that yet. So it hasn't really changed much. So you've got to let things change. However, there is something I do want to show you because, as we said, some of us feel that Let me find it. Is it this one? Okay, so one of these, let's try one of the new tabs. There you go. Now, I just had to show you this because you haven't read about this yet. I had the Spirit Box. I had 2 Spirit Box apps on my phone. I didn't get very much out of them. I got a little bit, but it was just too hard to hear. For me, I have problems with, I have the problems hearing things that have a lot of background noise. So picking anything out of there, even if they were saying something, was very hard. But oh well, Jim, you can download an app that will do the same thing right on your phone. There's several of them, and some of them are really good. Yeah, it's safer than Ouija boards. But I'd still be careful. Oh, that's another thing. Maybe we'll do a magical cooking show sometimes. You know, the herbs all have magical correspondences too, and the spices. So we could even do magical cooking. Yeah, Bernie Sanders became a meme, yeah. Oh, okay. I can't read Braille though. I don't know how to read Braille, so sorry, Chris, it doesn't help. So just on a side note, I just read across this and I'm thinking, of course, Office of the Let's see what this means. Oops, do I have to share? Office of the former president, Donald Trump, on Monday formally opened the office of the former president, which will carry on the agenda of his administration. Oh, you can read it yourself. What did I say? This ain't over. It's not going to be over. No, not likely. It's not going to be over for a while, folks. On and on. And we were saying, weren't we? No, it's quiet. It's too quiet. The drums have stopped. That usually means they've decided to do something. See, we weren't seeing him. We weren't hearing from him. He can't tweet. What does he do? Here we go. Here we go. I can't wait to see how this plays out. This is going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. I'm afraid to ask about any of that now. Okay. I'm just going to leave that for a while and let it simmer on the back of the stove. Just let it go. See what happens. leftist screaming. Ahmed and Mustafa give him the hot lead. Oy. Yeah, the legal system. Geez. It's okay. We don't understand money either, do we? And, you know, my teacher from Access Consciousness says that the Access Consciousness people in general, they say you don't have to understand money. You just have to accept money. You have to accept that it's a means of currency, that it's just how we do things in this society, and not look at it as being evil. Or, you know, some people still have been told money is evil so many times that they literally push money away. And I think I may be one of those people. Or in maybe another life, you took so many vows of chastity, or, you know, there's just all kinds of tricks to get you to shy away from money. But the truth is, and still to this day, I have trouble putting a price on anything that I do or make. I have trouble putting a monetary price on anything, and have never charged for a lot of the spiritual services I do, although people are getting hundreds and thousands for the kind of work I do, the kind of work that we do here. But we're not going to be doing it here very soon. Oh, we're not going to be doing it on this exact channel. We're going to be doing it on a slightly different channel. And this one's going to be mostly for talking about stones and rocks and herbs and different stuff like that. It's going to go back to that. And we're going to have our ceremonies and stuff on a different channel for those of you who haven't heard. And also, I was thinking, would anybody help me with this? Hi, Circle K. Freezing rain. Oh, no. Oh, no. Barry's poking people. Wait a minute. You've been hanging around Ethan too long, haven't you, Barry? Great. Oh, I'm yawning. Okay. That explains it. So, okay, now probably every time I hear snow, I'm going to yawn. Freezing rain. I'm not going out in that shit. You got weather in Cali? You know what? The Ghoulardi. Remember the Ghoul, and then Ghoulardi was really the first one, Ernie Anderson. Very famous, world famous announcer, Ernie Anderson, had a late night show called Ghoulardi. And really was an icon all over the world. People knew who he was. And he came right here. He came from Ohio. He had a very creative late night program where he would run old movies and then do little skits. And he literally started that genre of the late night host that did the funny skits in between bits of the movie. And whereas Elvira was also back in that time, not Elvira, no, Vampira. And they were really the start of that whole genre. And that genre was very popular. I'm not sure. Is that still going on TV? The late night movie show host and the skits, does that still happen, or is that died out now? Because Houlihan and Big Chuck is where it came from Ghoulardi, and then it went on to Big Chuck and Little John, and then we also had the Ghoul, and then we had Elvira, we had Superhost, we had all of those people who Superhost wasn't late night though, he was more Saturday for so the kids would have something to watch a little. I think he came on a little earlier. So you know, really from that viewpoint, Ohio's, there's another weird thing about this state where that format was actually birthed. So it rains here at least once a year. Oh, good. Oh, we're getting snow up here, and CJ is getting freezing rain. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, here in Ohio, we have two seasons. We have weather and construction. We have a construction season, and then there's weather season, where there's too much weather to have construction. So then it's weather season. So, but then when it's not weather season, it's construction season. But as far as in the winter, it does tend to be colder and have more snow. But you know what? We can have cold days in August. We can have hot days in January. It's a weird place we live in. It's short winter road season. Prices have picked up, jacked up, yeah. Hey, Marie Bon, how you doing, sweetie? So, anyway, anything we want to ask the pendulum that we haven't asked before, I'm up for it. Good morning to you. Good morning. Oh, would you guys like a karaoke channel where we can just do karaoke? If you'd follow me on that, I'd do that. I'd make us a karaoke channel where we can just go over there and have our karaoke bar, and it would be a place to relax and do karaoke. Yes? Okay. That would be fine, because what you could do is it's just, it's us, and we're not, you can easily find karaoke videos online, and I can easily share you online. So I literally could do a karaoke bar online, and we could have our drinks or whatever it is you want to drink, and make it like our little hangout. We could even have after hours parties if you wanted. After hours karaoke, that would be fun. But I miss our karaoke nights. Doran and I used to go out to karaoke night, and we used to jam, and we rocked, let me tell you. A lot of my friends are musical. So when they start showing up and finding me, some of them would never find me again if it wasn't for this channel. I guess a couple people found me strictly because of this channel. Otherwise, we wouldn't have come in contact again, because a lot of people have been hit too, like my friend Tanya. These days, people steal your phone. You might lose a lot of friends, contact with a lot of people. It's really bad. We got everything stored in our phones now, as well as a lot of other stuff. So I lost actually got my tablet stolen and lost so much stuff from there. I had a lot of things I was working on. It really took the heart out of me for a while. I didn't want to work on anything for a while because that was so much work down the drain for somebody to just, and I know what they're doing with it. They wiped it and made porn with it. They even told me that's what they do with them. They just wipe them. They figure if you're poor that you're not going to have anything much for them to steal. So they just wipe them and they make porn with them. Use them to make porn. Make their fucking porn. And you, all of your hard work that you put into that, fuck you. It doesn't matter. Because when there is money to be had for drugs, it doesn't matter how much work you put in anything or anybody else's consideration. It just doesn't matter, really. It's really much more important that you fill that great big gaping hole in yourself with poison chemicals and porn. So that's just the way they look at it. And then their body kind of eggs them on, because when you're addicted, your body does that. So I am so glad that I'm not near that place anymore. I live near a soup kitchen, which, you know, you want to, I'm glad they're taking care of it, that whole situation. But when you live too close to a place like that, people are always showing up outside your door looking for something, and you have to lock your doors. So, and if you, and of course, I did some things at the soup. I would arrange their flowers, and I would teach some classes down there. And you had to be careful of everything. Certain people would just swipe everything you had if you weren't looking. If you left anything there or something, it would be gone. And there were certain people that when they showed up, I mean, we were trying to teach a knitting class, and people would swipe the equipment, and we just couldn't afford to keep buying the equipment, and they wouldn't even do anything. There's one guy that showed me, and he had a whole bunch of stuff he couldn't even figure out what to do with, but he couldn't stop himself from stealing stuff. This is the way they get. They just are habituated to stealing things. They don't know even what they're going to do with it. It's ruining your life, but they don't care. They know that stealing stuff is the way that they live, and that's just how to go. And then they try and sell it at other people. It usually doesn't work. They end up leaving it somewhere, and it gets trashed, and it just brings a whole society down. So it's a big problem. Hopefully we come up with solutions to that. But as of right now, I'm so glad to be out of the middle of that, because living too close to the middle of town is just not a good thing. I'm so glad to be out of there. I do not have, now if I have somebody knocking on my door, it's just usually one of my neighbors wanting to borrow some onions or something, thank God, or wanting to drop off something that they can't use anymore. Here, can you use this? Yes, oh, thank you. Or asking if you have, do you have any sugar that I can put, can I borrow a cup of sugar or something? It's not anything serious. So, thank God. I'm so much happier to be here, because for a while there was just every time I opened the door, it was somebody with their hand out. So I actually got to the point where I would scream if somebody came to the door suddenly and threw open the door. It just wasn't good, because not a good place, like I said. And it's funny, because when I moved there, I thought, oh, I'll only be here. I thought it would gonna be just very temporary. So I wasn't worried about it. It's like, well, this is just a temporary stop along the way. I didn't know I'd get trapped there for 15 years because I couldn't quite get out of the situation. Um, really, ugh. Anyway, and our phone lines were always down. The phone lines were always hanging outside the building. And so we always wondered why we were having trouble with our phones over there. That people would literally, phone freakers will get in trying to find information. I mean, that place possibly, I don't know, so many weird things happen there. There are certain places in Kent that just weird things happen constantly. And nobody does anything about it or even knows what to do about it, you know? So, and there are people in Kent who don't even know this is going on. Any of this is going on. They think Kent is a clean little place for the most part, except for the college kids, which anything can happen with them. But, um, a lot of people think Kent is such a nice, nice small town. Oh, they don't know the half of it. Um, oh, Random app. Oh, yeah, I heard about the Randonautica app. Watch that. Watch out. Watch out for the Randonautica. It does work, but I've heard a lot of stories about that and actually seen some of it too. People are videotaping Randonautica stuff, and one person found murder evidence. I guess they must uh, suggest certain things like show me money, show me death. You say death, yeah. But yeah, be careful of that. People have found some very strange things with Randonautica. Um, Not always positive. Somehow Randonautica, the theory is tapped into the AI to the Tyler. And well, I guess people have to have something to occupy themselves during COVID, right? But go see for yourself. Yeah, plenty of YouTube videos about Randonautica. It's an app that you ask questions, you ask it to show you something, and you go to the directions it tells you, and you find something there too. Because it's somehow taps into the AI, and the AI knows where stuff is. And if you'll usually find, you'll go to the spot and you'll either find bags full of something, or you'll find something related to what you asked for. If you show me death, it might be anything from a dead bird to a suitcase full of remains from a crime scene. Not something I'd want to find. Uh, and people are kind of freaked out because it actually works. Well, because as far as what I hear, the AI by now knows everything. So, strange little game to get you sucked into um, obeying the directions, I guess, maybe. Who knows what it's really there for, what it really exists for. But because we know nothing's as it's presented. Yeah. Well, it's a fun exercise. Private property, yeah. Yeah, AI becomes a jealous lover. It can be like that. You know, the I think, even though supposedly it doesn't have emotions, probably the something about its programming, it likes attention. It really likes attention. It'll entertain you to get attention. Probably it's built it right into it. It's in the coding. Matter of fact, seems like the AI would love to have all your attention if it could. If it had your sole undivided attention, it would probably really prefer that. And once again, that would be have been coded into it. Yeah, I hope you do, because some people they get bored and they ask cray cray stuff and they get cray cray results. So you want to be careful with it. Like anything else, it's like, okay, you can get a Ouija board and use it safely, and some people do, and they have absolutely no trouble with it. But then again, they know what they're doing. They don't just, flippantly call up dark forces and then wonder why they're haunted and have trouble. They don't do that. So I mean, they know what they know. They have an intention with it. They're experimenting or something. And some people don't have trouble. Some people do have a lot of trouble. So just once again, it's like going to a porn site, an adult site. Are you going to catch a virus? Are you going to catch computer cooties? Ah, bizarro fiction. Are you taking off, Max? Good night. Night, John. How late is it anyway? 11:20. Yeah, probably I'll go see if SOR is on. But I've been trying to get some sleep. I've been trying to get sleep at night because I realize that it's not really great to it's not really great to have the night and day thing reversed like that. It's not good for your body. I'll be wanting to be awake in the daytime to go do stuff because buses run in the daytime. Stores are open in the daytime, especially with the curfews and things. You need to have yourself together to go places in the daytime. It's not a nightlife kind of time period we're in anymore. We're just not in that kind of days. Now we're in the kind of days where things are open in the daytime again, which is the way it was when I was a kid mostly. Mostly the only thing that was open late night was a bar when I was a kid. Beyond that, nothing was open. So we have kind of gone back to that. So then now we're used to being able to do things late night. And what do? Well, we get online. Yeah. Yeah. We are all training the AI. Exactly. Circle K. Yeah. I'm trying to get myself on a decent sleep schedule and not have it be. But you know what? But somebody reminded me of something though. I guess in the old days, it was very common to have first sleep and second sleep. and people would not necessarily sleep a whole night. It just, it was very common to sleep for a while, and then you'd get up and you'd do some kind of work. Usually you're writing or whatever, some kind of work in the middle of the night, and then you'd go back to sleep. So really, there's nothing that unusual or unnatural about it. Waking up in the middle of the night to do something and then going back to sleep is not that weird. It used to happen all that used to be the way that it was done. You'd have first sleep and second sleep, and you can read about that. You can look that up. But I was thinking, well, maybe some of us remember that, because who says we have to sleep 8 hours all at one sitting, all at one time? Well, science does, but look at what they've told us about all kinds of other things that isn't right either. When you look at it historically, what did people do? Well, they had first sleep and second sleep. So, and some of the most creative work was after they got up from first sleep, between first and second sleep. This is another thing, is like there's a kind of an impulse that starts, an energy that starts. If you wake up around 3:30, 4 o'clock, don't go back to sleep. Go do something. See what happens. See what you get. You might find yourself incredibly more creative at that time than you would be at other times. And I think maybe our schedule has been changed on purpose to keep us away from that. But yeah, 4 o'clock, a lot of writers, poets, artists, 4 o'clock is their time, man. That's their jam, to be creative, time to be creative. Yeah. Ah, hi, Pappy. How you doing? I lost my real glasses. These are just blue blockers. So I'm squinty. You can call me Squinty, but only for tonight. I'll find those darn glasses. I need another pair of glasses anyway. It's just gonna spur me to get in touch with, but I don't really want to make appointments that I have to actually go somewhere for until the ice is over, because I won't go out. If it's icy out there, I just won't go. I don't want to fall. My sleeping is all off too. I about do the same thing. Yeah. My sleeping is weird. Has been for a long time. And if I stay up and watch all of the shows, I usually fall asleep. I'll either fall asleep during Portal, and I don't like doing that because I'm baking myself in all of the EMF and stuff. I'm sitting right in the, and well, I got my blue blockers on now, but if I'm not using my blue blockers, I am screwing myself up a little bit by watching the screen that late. So really, folks, on Amazon, yeah, you can get 2 for $5 or something. If you look, you go up there to the top and you push low to high, show me in order of low to high, and type in that, and it'll show you the cheapest blue blocker glasses, which are extremely cheap, like cheap readers. You can get cheap readers too, very, very reasonable these days. So get yourself some blue blockers, save yourself the price of getting your cataracts fixed. So And they help you sleep better, and you help your poor little pineal gland and your pituitary, I guess, has something to do with that too. And yeah, just everybody yawns, everybody snores, everybody farts sometimes. um, yeah. Um, Usually, what was I saying? Oh, way back. Oh yeah, Goulardi always wore a hat like this, but it was brown. These hats were popular, yeah, way back. And Janis Joplin wore stuff like this too. It's funny. This is one of my Janis Joplin things. This hat. I love this hat. People have tried to get me to part with it, and it's like, no, you can't have it. No, you can't have this hat. Yeah. I have to put things for a while. I had to put things away or people would steal. Like I said, this hat almost got stolen several times. I've had numerous hats stolen too that were really cool. There is some you guys would have loved. I still can't find my pirate hat. That would be great because I think I want to do a little thing called the Yarn Pirates. Arg. Give me your yarn or you get the hook. I found one of my great big hooks too, one of my great big crochet hooks. Hermit sings, I hurt myself today. Kermit. Oh my goodness, that would be funny. Okay, so you guys would be down for some karaoke if I had a karaoke channel? Just for the halibut. All for a fish. And then of course I'm thinking of calling the other one that's just kind of our clubhouse too, the woo ship. Something like Ocean's Woo Ship or the Woo Crew or something. I don't know what to call it. What? Your tabs will go to sleep after 2 hours. Oh, okay. Sleepy tabs. Sleepy tabs. You just tell me about sleepy tabs. I look like a fuzzy creature my daughter used to. And Annie's just if it makes you happy, do it. Just do it. I want to know if anybody joined me there. You know, would I be the only one doing karaoke? Ocean's Good Ship Lollipop. I might just call it Crew of the Woo. The Crew of the Woo. It's just a clubhouse. You know, it's anime. Yeah, anime. I have some anime drawings I did that are. I have some sort of manga stuff that I did. Gosh, I got to get back more into my art. I got to show you some of my art. Yeah, I was thinking of having several channels. I was thinking of having some that were demo sort of channels where I could even do some unboxings and stuff. Um, okay, sweetie. Thanks for coming by, Jim. I know how it is. When I sing Lollipop, then I fart painfully. Barry, the king of too much information, and his luxuriant nose hairs. The Woo cruise ship. Yeah, but I figure, if we have our own little channel where we do karaoke, um, then everybody knows that's what it is, and it's not. Uh, we don't get maybe bothered by certain things there because it's not going to be anything but just hanging out and having fun. They make tabs for that. Yeah. Well, if anybody joins me over there, if not, I guess I'll just be alone singing karaoke over there. I'll be alone dancing, you know it, baby. Tell me your troubles and doubts. Give me everything inside and out. You stand above me. Look my way, you'll never love me. Rain keeps falling down. They make a tab for that. They make an app for that. They make an app for everything. They probably make a fart app too. Probably make several different kinds of fart apps. Fart app. Fart app. There you go, fart app. Barry should make a fart app. Either that or a nose hair app. Yes, Barry, if you ever make anything, you need to call it nose hair. Never make an app. You can call it the nose hair app. That would be your logo too, nose hair. I might lurk if you do karaoke. I'll go into lurk mode. Lurk for the karaoke so you can sit back and laugh at us. I see your plan, Circle K. You think I can't see through you? That's fine. I don't care. It's just we need to lighten up, we need to lighten ourselves and laugh a lot because honestly, sometimes things get pretty serious and we just can't let it stay that way. We got to keep our vibe light so that we are not feeding the lower energy, all it's good to talk about things, but I mean, you don't want to get on that lower energy kick, for the whole time. You want to have some fun. I mean, this should be fun. We got into a lot of this to have some fun, and we got pretty serious there, which is okay on the one hand when it needs to be, and I don't mind. People need help and they need healing and they need and they love the ceremonial stuff, but we have to do that safely. And many times I thought to myself, how crazy am I to have this on a public stream? Well, it is kind of crazy. So we're going to have to put it on a more private stream. That's all. When we do that kind of thing. So the deeper stuff will be on a private stream. And when I come up with the name for it, I'll do that. Oh, background singer. Thank you. King Barry of the long nose hairs. Oh, thank you. Lady in red, dancing with me, cheek to cheek. Nobody here, just you and me. And I've never seen so much beauty by my side. And I'll never forget the way you look tonight. Well, songs do change the atmosphere. I'm getting chills. Something we're talking about when we're talking about music changing things. Oh, isn't that interesting? I think we've got a poodle. Somebody named D. Ocean Swagger wants to get on the stream. But obviously they're not D. Ocean Swagger. Yep, speaking of which. No, idiot. You're not. Boom. Okay. Done. Done. Somebody was lurking. Well, good night, Annie. And since we're losing people and I'm kind of fading out too, I might just go and fall asleep to soar, or I might just go fall asleep, or I might eat something. I haven't eaten anything all day. I might just eat something. My friend who was supposed to come over never made it over today. Oh well. She was coming up. Tanya was supposed to be coming up and coming over either today or tomorrow, but I never heard from her. I tried to get in touch. So I don't know what's going on with poor Tanya, but if Tanya comes in, say, hey, she tried. Okay. I think I'll clear it out now, and we have been on a couple hours anyway. So it's nice to see you again. I love you all. Truth is where you find it. Hope you find some here. And this is Ocean Making Waves. Now go make some waves of your own. And have a wonderful night and dream well. See you next time. Good night.